Hi again then guys, and welcome to another installment of the Beards and Cars podcast, a podcast which incidentally is not available today on SoundCloud. You can still of course check out all of the other episodes, but this one is YouTube only because it's more of what I would call like a housekeeping episode, which is more channel related stuff, behind the scenes kind of talk for those of you who are interested in that kind of thing with regard to the channel and the future of the channel and all that kind of stuff. Now in terms of why the video is called that, you probably thought, well, what is HSG Unlimited? Well, either you thought that or you thought, oh, I already know what that is, because some of you already do. Now, HSG Unlimited is actually a second channel, a companion piece to HSG Automotive. You can check it out in the link below in the description. And basically, this second channel has a little bit of a story behind it, which I wanted to talk about today to highlight it a bit more, because this second channel is actually going to be very, very important to me and to my work here on YouTube. So if you would potentially enjoy following my other paths of creativity beyond just Gran Turismo and Forza, etc., then you might want to check out that second channel. And I wanted to make this video just to get into a couple of the realizations that I had myself today, actually, because I was not originally thinking of doing this episode today, but I think it's actually more important than even I had realized. Because for those of you who have been around on this channel for long enough, you'll probably remember that in 2016, I believe it was, I set up a second channel called SHM. SledgeHammerMovies, and that was basically to cover my second passion, because you can't make a YouTube channel about women, specifically. So the first channel was going to be car stuff or gaming stuff in general, and then SHM was movie content. And I put out quite a lot of movie content, in fact, over 100 videos, and some of them actually got lots of views, like hundreds of thousands of views, in fact, which for a channel that has less than 4,000 subscribers, especially at the time, was pretty impressive. Now, with that being said, the second channel became stagnant, and it had been since very early last year. And the reason for that was twofold. One, a lot of the videos got demonetized when that absolutely crazy Adpocalypse Mark II happened, when all horror and violent and even red-tinted content got demonetized ad nauseum. And then on top of that, about probably at least 50% of the content that wasn't demonetized anyway was then claimed by various studios, especially ones like MGM, Universal, that kind of thing. Which is ridiculous because the kind of movies that I was reviewing were not exactly getting a ton of views anyway. I was giving them free advertising for movies that people generally didn't watch, and they still claimed them, so there's their dumbass logic for you, but whatever. But regardless, short story long, I stopped producing those movie reviews because of those things. It became literally a waste of time because each of those videos was at least like 10 or 15 minutes long, sometimes longer. It took a while to produce those, especially in conjunction with how much stuff I was already putting out on this channel, so it became literally a waste of time. And not just because of the money, because half the time the videos would get blocked worldwide so nobody could even enjoy them anyway. So, as I said, the channel became stagnant, and I started to focus completely on this one instead. Until probably about 3 weeks ago, maybe a month ago tops, when I decided, you know what? I've got this second channel, there are about 4,000 people or so on there, so why not use the existing, 600,000 views that I've accrued on there, and those 4,000 people, and actually do something with it. It doesn't necessarily have to be movie related, I could in effect fold it into HSG Automotive. And that got me to thinking, why not do what I originally liked doing on this channel, but which never gets the views? And that is producing content that isn't car related. And even as recently as about a month ago, I put out a game review for The Outer Worlds, a game which I quite enjoyed, and on a rare occasion is one of the games that I reviewed relatively close to when it was released, only about 2 months late, which is pretty good for me. I usually review them much, much later than that. But it's got like 650 views on a 50k channel, and the reason why is obvious. That's not what most of you are here for. However, that got me to thinking, I've got this second channel, and I love so much more than just Gran Turismo and Forza. I love Fallout. I love the Batman Arkham series. I love GTA. I love all of these games that, for the most part, aren't going to have a place here. So why not turn that second channel into a place where I can do that? And that's exactly what I did. I created a new logo, a new name, new artwork. It has kind of the alternative slant to the visual style of this channel, with a kind of purple instead of red. And many of you, as I said, have probably seen the channel already. Whenever I put out a new video, I post it on the community tab of this page. I also post it on Twitter and Instagram, so it does get a level of exposure, but I think a lot of people probably still haven't seen it anyway. And it wasn't until today that, as I said, I realised why this second channel is actually going to be invaluable to me. And the reason why is because I inadvertently named it perfectly. It's not called HSG Gaming, which would be dumb, because that would be Hammer Studios Gaming. It's called HSG Unlimited. And even though I didn't think about it at the time, that's exactly what it needed to be called, because that second channel is not fettered by cars or Gran Turismo, or thinking, what will my primary community think of me putting this out today? Will it get the views? Will it be worth the time? Because on that second channel, it doesn't matter. It's unlimited. It doesn't even have to be gaming. On this channel, the single most viewed video I've ever done has nothing to do with gaming at all. It's a short mystery story that I wrote myself, and it's got like 870,000 views. And a number of other stories that I've written also are among the highest viewed I've ever done, which is cool. You know, it's awesome to know that so many people enjoy listening to my stories, and it actually encouraged me to publish 2 books on Amazon, which many of you, again, will know of, Buddy and Spore, which I am so proud of. But this second channel can be a place for stuff like that as well. And recently, I put out a new mystery video, or a mystery horror style video about the diary of an asylum patient. And I loved writing it. I bashed out the whole thing in about 2 or 3 hours, and it was a huge amount of fun. And all of these little pieces of information and knowledge have kind of just clicked into place for me this morning, because I don't want to start talking about stuff like mental health too heavily in this particular video, not because it's not important, but because it detracts from the point that I'm trying to make. But the reason why this second channel is going to be so important to me is because my creativity and my passion goes way beyond just cars, and way beyond just gaming even. There are so many things that I love to do which just don't have the opportunity to shine ever on this channel. And as this channel gets bigger and better known for what we do here, the chances of producing alternative content on it become lower and lower. And that is exactly why HSG Unlimited is going to be quite literally an invaluable tool to me. It's not going to make the money that this channel does. It's not going to get the views, and it won't have the subscribers. But it's going to be so important to me because it's a channel where I don't need to worry about what the schedule is this week. I don't even need to set one. I don't need to think, what's the core audience going to think of this? I can just create something, anything. So far, I've been running the channel in the new way for about 3 weeks, I guess it is now, maybe a little bit more. And in that time, I've produced book reviews, game reviews, written a story, and even done my first ever game trailer reaction. I mean, you never see that kind of variety here on the channel. I mean, of course, I like to keep it varied here on HSG Auto, but it's all varied within the theme of cars. So, of course, that's still a genre. The second channel doesn't really even have a genre. It's sci-fi, it's horror, it's mysteries, it's action. It can be whatever I feel like on that particular day. I did a video about making loads of money in Fallout. I did a game review of Jaws, a game review of Alice Madness Returns, all these different weird disparate things that don't really fit together. But it's just what I felt like doing on that particular day. And many of those were actually ported over from this channel because I put them out years ago, like the Jaws and Alice reviews. So for me, now knowing that I have this second channel to outlet and release my creativity on, it's actually far more important to the future of this channel than you might realise. And I think some of the older viewers among you, especially if you're creative yourself or have been in the past, I think you understand exactly what I'm getting at with that. Because even something that you're passionate about can wear thin. There's only so much talking you can do about a specific topic or subject. And of course, I've been talking about Gran Turismo and Forza and all that for a long while, and that isn't changing anytime soon, so don't worry. But when you are a person who has multiple creative outlets, such as I do, I love art, I love writing, I love horror, I love movies, it's way more than just cars. Having a place to do that is very important. And at the end of the day, it actually has very little to do with the views that it gets. Most of them probably won't, because they're semi-obscure stuff. The entire channel you could kind of think of as being my personality style of unsung heroes. The second channel basically is unsung heroes, except me instead of cars. So, and that sounded way more pretentious than I meant it to, but I think you know what I mean. It's kind of like all these disparate, unrelated topics and passions that I have that don't really fall under this channel and never would. So if you feel like that second channel is something that could interest you, then it would be much appreciated if you checked it out. And you don't need to subscribe, of course, if you don't want to. Just check out a video or two. As I said, it is linked down below. If you enjoy it, stick around. If you don't, don't. I appreciate that a lot of you are only here purely for Gran Turismo news or car-related stuff, etc. That is fine, and like I said, it's not going away anytime soon. But for those of you who do enjoy stuff like other gaming, Fallout, Batman, Jaws, all these kind of things, I have games that I haven't even started on that second channel yet, like Terminator Resistance, I believe it is, that relatively recent game. Games that I'm going to be doing. Like I said, I did that trailer reaction to Predator Hunting Grounds, and I've even already planned things. I may even be doing one today where I'm going to do full-on movie reactions, where as long as you keep the footage under 10 minutes, it's within fair use. So all of these other passions that I have can be released on that second channel, and I love that. And I didn't realise at the time how literal that Unlimited in the name was going to be. But I think it's a happy turn of chance that I happened to call it that, because I didn't have that in mind at the time. But ultimately that's it about HSG Unlimited, and yeah, I just wanted to use this particular installment to highlight the other side of my passions and the other side of my creativity. So if you have passions, maybe you've already got a channel of your own, I would maybe encourage you to do a similar thing to what I've done. Maybe you have a channel about something that you're good at, but there's nothing to say you can't have another channel talking to something that you just love. You don't need to be top 10 in the world artists to enjoy drawing. You don't need to be the next Chopin to enjoy playing an instrument on YouTube. Just do what you love, and it doesn't really matter about the views at the end of the day. That's exactly what that second channel personifies. So, as I said, check it out if it sounds like it might interest you, maybe just for the gaming content, maybe just for the horror content, maybe just for the movie content. And incidentally, if you would like to go back and check out those movie reviews that I talked about, they are all still on the channel, at least the ones that weren't blocked worldwide. So you can still watch those as well, and many of those do still get views here and there also. And some of the movies that I spoke about are probably going to be films that I do reactions to, because many of the movies that I love tend to be semi-obscure, and horror, thrillers, sci-fi, that kind of stuff. So giving them more exposure with those reactions, it's fun, and it's doing the film a service. Unsung heroes, again, as I said. But overall, that's it for this installment. Of course, I hope you guys enjoyed the second channel if you do decide to check it out. And until next time, I'll see you then. But for now, as always, thanks for watching.